What's going on to all my gamers and gamers? This your boy Kano, the brutally honest gamer, and I'm back with another video. Let's get it, let's go, let's talk about it, you dig? So, let's talk about Redfall for a minute. You know, this is basically what this whole video is going to be about, Redfall. And the disappointment in the actual game that, for me, I wasn't really excited about from the jump, even though when we saw the trailer in the beginning, I already had my suspicions about how this game is going to be. I felt like it was going to be a co-op game, but the way I played it, my suspicions was correct. The game is not good at all. The game is a major disappointment in many ways, shape, or form. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. So this is my perception of it, and nobody else's. This is really my thought process, and I don't speak for fanboys. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a fan of gaming. But anywho, so when you look at Redfall, it's a huge disappointment in many ways. The way I looked at it is, they originally wanted to make this a live service game, and it didn't work because Bethesda has a track record of not having great servers. That's actually true. So when I look at Redfall was a major disappointment in many ways, and from my standpoint of playing it thoroughly through, there's a lot of things wrong with the game. Like, starting off with the gameplay mechanics, the shooting and the aiming is terrible within the game, so I had to switch settings so I can make it feel a little bit decent for me to continue to play for a little longer periods of time, which now I can't even really get into the game even more so because how buggy the game is. There's a lot of things wrong with it, like especially with the AI, right? Picture like you standing right on the side of the enemy, and they don't even notice you there, and then you shoot a headshot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a great aim. I got great aim in shooting games. But yeah, they standing there, you just hit it with a headshot, and then the other person act like they didn't see it. They just act dumb and oblivious to the whole situation. Then you just shoot him in the head. You know, in the game, you feel what I'm saying? So the AI is definitely terrible in the game, and they just rushing at you. You're just picking them up one at a time easily. You feel me? And a vampire, the way they just run at you, and you can just sidestep them and just keep shooting them down. It was just so much wrong with the game that it's terrible. And not only that, the biggest issue that everybody has, including myself, is, you know, we're in a new generation, whereas 60 frames per second is the new norm. So that should be the new norm. And it doesn't work well PC. Well, it does 60 frames, but it doesn't keep up on PC from what I heard. And then on the Xbox Series X and S versions of the game just runs at 30 frames per second. Sometimes they don't keep up with that well. You feel me? And honestly, this game wasn't even ready to actually be released, in my opinion. This game should have at least took another 6 months to another year of development. And I feel like Microsoft and Bethesda dropped the ball on this actual game. Honestly, as far as the storytelling is concerned, there's really too much of non-existence of storytelling, based off the fact though the dialogue sucks in the game. Honestly, then not only that, you feel me? There's a lot of discrepancies in the game that is terrible within it. The graphics is still made with Unreal Engine 4. That's last gen graphics we're basically looking at, and not the modern Unreal Engine 5. This game was not ready to be released whatsoever, and honestly, I'm disappointed within the game. My expectations was already in check. You know what I'm saying? I had my expectations at 0 with this game, and now it's at a -10. So this game needs a ton of patches, and the way I compare this game, you know, is better than Cyberpunk when it was released. You know, when Cyberpunk was released, it was worse than Redfall. But Redfall is more in a playable state. But the problem with it is, this game should at least be in early access before they have the full release, like how they did Grounded. Because honestly, this game is not up to par. The achievement, the way you get the achievements, is kind of having broken aspects to it in a way. It's just so many things wrong with this game, man. They're gonna have to do a major patch to fix some of the key things that's wrong with the game. And not only that, we need the 60 frames per second on both Series X and S, and they just got to do a better job in putting this game in a more formidable fashion. And it kind of really makes me question about the future IPs that Microsoft will have in the long run for the first party titles. Now, don't get me wrong, Hi-Fi Rush was actually fire. That was a fire game. I loved every bit about the game. I'm gonna be going through some more playthroughs with this game. I'm trying to 100% the game as far as the achievements and everything else with this whole game of Hi-Fi Rush. But when it comes to Redfall, they need to take more time to get this game together. And like I said about the future IPs of other games that's coming out, it makes me question about how Hellblade will be in, well, Hellblade 2, and hopefully that game will be superb, which I believe it will be. And Starfield, my expectations been in check with Starfield because at the end of the day, I'm just very skeptical about Starfield. And personally, I got to review the game on the Gamer Section channel. You feel me? So, like I said, Starfield has to make Xbox this year. Like this year alone, when it comes to Microsoft, is actually a make it or break it year for Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? As far as the games is concerned, because they're pushing Game Pass out through the wind, but it's more to it than just Game Pass because the consoles is not really selling up to par compared to PlayStation. And it's sad to say I have to say that, but it's facts, not fiction. And if you're a fanboy that don't agree with me, that's a you problem. Ain't got nothing to do with me. This is just what you see. What you see is what you get. And just accept that. You feel me? But anywho, like, hopefully Microsoft can prove us all wrong with this Xbox Bethesda showcase that they got on June 11th or June 12th, one of the two. Hopefully they show some surprises and show some games that we could be excited about. Because after Redfall, it's a little bit kind of a spooky situation with Microsoft right now. And Sony ain't no different. They got a lot to prove too, because all them live service games, they gotta hold that on them live service games. That's facts. But like I said, it's all about Microsoft within this video, but they gotta prove something. They got a lot to prove, and I'm just leaving on that note. Comment y'all thoughts about Redfall below. I'm gonna leave it on that note. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the post notification bell for when I drop videos, and go ahead and subscribe to the Gamer Section channel too. I'm gonna leave it on that note. I'm out. Peace.